Okay, it sounds like a very interesting and innovative company to be a part of. Again, if you refer to the discussion tab on our events page, Vitrox currently has 19 positions available. They are a semiconductor and electronics manufacturing company, so a lot of technical backgrounds, but they are also aggressively expanding at the moment. So please look on the website and check out these 19 positions. All right, so next up on the agenda, we have another sharing session by one of our lecturers, Mr. Prashanth Beleya. Now, I will just give some background information. Prashanth is the senior lecturer and program leader for logistics from Peninsula College. His areas of study revolves around contemporary logistics and supply chain related subjects, with a focus on green management in the areas of seaports and supply chain processes, as well as strategic management subjects. He possesses a master's degree in international business and is currently pursuing his PhD in the area of sustainable supply chain management. He has a combined total of 17 years of industrial and academic experience in the logistics and supply chain industry. All right, good afternoon, Prashanth. Thank you for being with us today. How are you feeling?
I'm good, Sean. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today.
No worries. Pleasure to have you on board. So, could you maybe tell us a bit about yourself? How your journey and career to being a lecturer, why supply chain logistics?
Sure. First of all, good evening once again to everyone. Thank you so much, Sean, for that introduction. It was very nice of you. And what happened was that I pursued my degree in international business, as you mentioned. And my first job was actually in the aviation industry. I worked for the airport. And thereafter, I worked in a seaport. And basically, this kindled my interest in the logistics and supply chain areas. So what happened was that I wanted to pursue my master's, which I did, and basically I joined the academic line after that. And I was in the academic line as a lecturer, a researcher for the past 11 years, just before I joined Peninsula College as the senior lecturer and program leader for the logistic courses. So here I am today.
Okay, thanks for that. Now, the logistics industry seems to be a particularly interesting sector now. With COVID shutting down a lot of retail and customer-facing stores and outlets. So now people realize that they need strong supply chain and logistics partners. So in terms of career prospects, what is the outlook?
I think with COVID-19 coming into play, basically it's disrupted everything, as you just said. But in a way, it has been an eye-opener to see that which kind of industries can thrive and sustain, kind of defensive when it comes to evolving over a period of time. So when we look at that, the logistics industry as a whole has been very resilient. They have been growing and they have been evolving through various issues and various incidences that have taken place over the course of history. And it is gaining a reputation as an industry where young generations would want to be in and be part of the future because of how is it evolving. And it is definitely a good area to be for the future, for the younger generation to look at. And what more is we see various trade openings and economies. We see the ASEAN as becoming a hub for supply chain and logistics. We have companies in Malaysia that are gearing up to be leaders in logistics. And this is considered a recognition for the industry itself. And when we have big companies coming in, multinational corporations coming in, this indeed proves that the industry is something to look upon from a present perspective and also more importantly at the future. And that's where I see the logistics industry moving. It's actually a strategy. Companies nowadays consider logistics as a strategy in looking ahead. And as I said just now, the COVID-19 disruption is proof that this industry, which is the logistics industry, is here to stay relevant and play a more important role for the businesses in the future.
Definitely. I mean, logistics in a nutshell is getting something from point A to point D. But of course, as you know, supply chain management is much more than that. Now, the common stereotype of the logistics industry is what is commonly referred to as the 3Ds. You know, people label it as dirty, as dangerous, and as demeaning. You know, you're not from an educated background, you work in a warehouse. That's why people consider it the 3Ds. So, as a vocation, what are your thoughts on that, actually?
Well, I can't blame people for thinking of it as being a 3D industry because it's been that's the perception that has been played upon in this industry for many decades. But what we need to understand is that, as I said, the industry is evolving. Okay, we are not going backwards, but we're going forwards. And when we look at it, the rise of technology, automation, we're looking at digitalization, AI coming into play, and all this has given the logistics industry a new perspective. If it was considered dirty, if that's what people perceived it previously, then maybe we can look at it as a cleaner industry now. It's going to be more clean, it's going to be more sustainable. It's going to be an area that is going to be fun and interesting to be in. Because if you look at it from past perspectives, the logistics itself, the activities were carried out from a traditional perspective, the over-reliance on labor, human beings carrying out the activities themselves. But as of today, okay, it has been very minimal to say in terms of the dirty aspect or the 3D aspect that we call it, due to the rise of various things that I just mentioned. So it is becoming a sought-after industry, and after recognizing the shortfalls in this industry, we can look at a future that is much more cleaner, efficient, and more environmentally friendly if we want to look at it from a positive perspective. And believe me, that is where we are. We are no longer a dirty industry as what some may perceive, but we are more, as I said, we're going to become more efficient, more cleaner, more environmentally friendly, which is what the world needs today from businesses.
Definitely, some good insights there. I know people call it dirty. I've seen kids' bedrooms that are much worse than a warehouse. Dangerous. We now have so many, robotics and automation systems that can improve
Yes.
our OHS. And demeaning, well, like you said yourself, it's a booming industry. Everyone needs logistics and supply chain, so it's something that's necessary. Don't think it, can be labeled as demeaning. So, in terms of the courses that are offered by Peninsula College to kickstart a career in logistics, could you share on some on what's available?
Sure. At Peninsula currently, we have the Diploma in Logistics Management, which is a 2-year program that runs through. And basically, students who take this program, they will be exposed to the various functions in logistics. It's a wholesome course. It's a wholesome program in terms of coverage, right? We have various subjects that cover logistics in depth, including certain law subjects which are not covered in many places. And this gives us, and it gives the students, especially, an eye opener on what to look at when they move forward or when they go to the industry. It will give them a sense of understanding, all right? And they would feel that they have the necessary knowledge at the very least to pursue their career in this industry. That's for our logistics programs, for our diploma programs, sorry. And we also have our degree. We call it a degree in Maritime and Business Logistics, which is in collaboration with University of Plymouth from UK, and University of Plymouth being recognized as one of the top 500 in the world. And they are one of the most sought after in terms of maritime and logistics degrees. So in collaborating with them, we further enhance our reputation as not just having a logistics diploma, but when you pursue your degree, you will go into some niche areas in maritime, which the industry is currently clearly lacking in terms of knowledge, in terms of expertise. So Malaysia positioning itself as a logistic hub in East ASEAN, we do need maritime experts, we do need logistics experts. So basically, Peninsula College here at Northern, we are looking at equipping our students with what is needed, not yesterday, not today, but what's needed for tomorrow.
Yes, very good, very good. I think we are going to open up the questions to the audience, but just a quick one. Peninsula College is, in its own right, one of the pioneering colleges, one of the first few to actually offer a degree and even a master's in logistics supply chain management. How has the uptick been on? Have you noticed an increasing trend over the years of students?
In terms of students,
Yeah, enrollments.
oh yes. If you look at a few years back, many would not have even heard about logistics or supply chain or maritime. But nowadays we have inquiries, people asking about what's in demand, or many parents themselves come in and they know about logistics, as if it's in just from a surface basis at least. But they're beginning to recognize this industry as something that their children should look at, and even the students themselves, they want to know more, because I think they've seen the internet of things, and basically digitalization has taken over everyone's life, and information is at the access of your fingertips. So basically they are beginning to become more aware of the logistics and supply chain environment. So we're seeing an uptick in terms of parents and students requiring information on logistics and supply chain.
Very good, very good. So there's going to be more and more logisticians graduating in the future. Yep. All right, let me just check with the moderator. Have there been any questions from our audience so far? Guys, any? Okay, I think I see. Oh, okay. So we have a question from Ts Prashanth. Why do less people go for masters in logistics compared to other programs or degrees? Okay.
All right. I think if you look at it, first and foremost, we had very few master's programs that focus on logistics previously. So, and if you look at it, many have promoted their MBA programs and other Master in Science programs. But at present, okay, we have a few places offering masters in logistics, and we have to look at it from a perspective of how well this masters in logistics is covered in this program. Okay, we can't someone can't just offer this program just because they want to. The institute themselves have to be really relevant and understand this logistics program before being able to offer. You need real expertise to be able to relate whatever subjects that are being offered to the students, or otherwise basically it's just another normal degree that others can pursue. So basically masters in logistics is a niche area that we're looking at. So that is why and furthermore, many working in the industry feel that they've not understood the term of this logistics, so they'd rather go for MBAs. But if I am such a person like who has asked this question, this is the time for us to start pursuing masters in logistics, which would be very fruitful for the individual in their career for the future.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
I believe we have a couple of other questions. Okay, we have one from a lady named Celine Ko. How many years on average does it take to complete a diploma or degree in a logistics course?
All right. If we look at the diplomas, we are looking at about 2 years to complete it, all right, which is about 6 semesters. And if we look at our degree, we are looking at about 3 years, okay, 36 months. And so that's how we are looking at it. So someone who would like to pursue a diploma first and want to gain some working experience could do so. Or some of them would just want to pursue a degree first directly and then start working. So that's an additional year that we're looking at. So yeah, between 2 years and 3 years.
2 years for the diploma, 3 years for the degree.
3 years. Yes.
So 5 years in total. Okay, no worries. We had another question from Jai again. Oh wait, Sorry, that's
Yes,
same
same one.
question. Okay, Amir Shari. His question is, can I study a diploma in Shah Alam and continue my degree in Penang with Peninsula College? Okay, this is an interesting question. I'm going to assume that Amir is currently studying a diploma in logistics in Shah Alam, but he's so impressed by the ship campus in Penang, maybe he wants to move to Penang for his degree. Is the college able to cater for such a translocation or?
It's a definite yes. It's a
Okay.
definite yes, and we most welcome anyone to come and look at the ship campus, and you'll definitely fall in love with the campus, and you'll definitely want to study here. And sure,
Hmm.
not just Sharlam, it could be anywhere, and you could definitely come here and pursue your degree here in Peninsula College. Sure.
No worries. And I guess people coming from, oh, not just Shalam, but anywhere else, do they have student facilities to, for those who don't have a house to stay in?
Oh yes, we have student residences, and it's basically state of the art facilities. So it's nice if the students can come and have a look, which we'll be more than happy to receive them and for them to have a look by themselves. And as I said, they will fall in love with the place, and surely they'll want to study here in Penang.
That's very good to know. I wish I was still a student. Okay, we have another question from Ariana. It says, "Hi, my parents say that logistics don't have a future. Is that true?" Maybe this has to do with the 3D stereotype that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What are your comments on that?
In terms of parents being a little passive, I wouldn't say they are wrong, but if I may, that this industry itself is the future. Okay, compared to so many other industries, we have a couple of industries that we are looking at in the future. Even a report by the World Economic Forum has listed the logistics supply chain as one of the 10 industries that will evolve in this next 10 years, and we will still need human expertise to get this logistics and supply chain running. So if we speak about future, then this is one of the areas that definitely has a bright future. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, that's very good to know. I hope, Ariana, that addresses your question. And I think we have one last. Oh, okay. Manoharan Anumatan. Okay, his question is, what is the basic salary or starting salary for a fresh graduate for a warehouse assistant or I guess entry level logistics role?
Okay. In terms of salary, it would be very difficult to put a number, a definite number for it. But if based on my experience, okay, on what has happened in the industry, is some of my previous graduates from my previous working place, their salaries have been much more higher than say a guy who's from public relations, a fresh graduate. I mean, okay, it's quite competitive, the salary that is being offered for logistics graduates, because as I said, the demand for such graduates are there. So even if we look at job openings, portals that are being offered, we would see many job openings for the logistics side, logistics industries, and definitely their salary scale that they offer is very competitive and appropriate for the current environment.
Okay. Uh, do you have a ballpark figure or rough
Sorry,
estimate?
Sean?
Do you have a ballpark figure or a rough estimate what they can expect?
Well, it depends on the position that they're going for. But if you look at if you would like a definite figure, then basically we're looking at least based on feedbacks that I've received,
Hmm.
it's around at least 2K and above. That is what they've been receiving pre-COVID levels.
Okay. Well, that's well above the minimum wage level in Malaysia. So I
Yes.
think, yeah, 2K is pretty decent. Okay. Oh, looks like we have another question from JF Yi. It says, "Hi, I would like to ask what job I can get after I study maritime logistics. Okay, so it's quite a niche field even among logistics. Yeah, what job can you get in after you study maritime logistics?
All right, there are actually various job opportunities available. Okay, you can look from the shipping perspectives. Okay, we have shipping executives, we have freight forwarding companies looking for such specializations. We have the ports. Okay, we have our national ports, we have the privatized ports here in the country that specifically need students who graduate from maritime and logistics. And what more is that we have companies, all right, manufacturing companies, the big companies, who are basically, they have identified this logistics function as a key function from an internal perspective. So companies doing import and export activities, they definitely look for this kind of graduates to uphold and look at their functions when they want to do their import and export activities. So it's a wide field. It's a wide field. Even though the degree or the diploma itself is niche, but the job opportunities is it's very wide.
Very good. I didn't even know maritime logistics existed until today. No worries. Do we have? I think we have one last question. It's kind of came in at the last minute. So this person says, I don't want to work in a warehouse all my life. If I do start a career in logistics, am I going to be stuck in the warehouse the whole time? Well, I guess a very relevant question. Yeah. What do you think?
Not necessary, not necessary. Even if we end up, say, just being in the warehouse, there are various functions in the warehouse itself that a person would be exposed to. But just to be in a nutshell, you don't have to end your career or work in a warehouse your life. As I said, there are various other functions in logistics. Okay, you can be in the transportation industry, you can be a freight forwarder, you can be an in-house, you can be involved in procurement. As I said, there are various functions in logistics. So the experience that you gain from one place will be a stepping stone for you in your next career, regardless of the functions that you go in logistics itself.
Okay. So I'm guessing you would have a lot of transferable skills as well, even if you started
Yes.
off in the warehouse. Okay, perfect. All right, Prashanth, I think, yes, that is all the questions that we have today. Thank you so much for being a part of us. I think we've all benefited and learned a bit more about what the logistics industry is actually like, how the demand has grown, and it looks like a bright future for students who are aspiring to be logistics graduates. So yeah,
Sure.
thank you again.
Thank you so much, Sean, for having me here today. Thank you so much.
No problem. Safe journey.